blood, okay? Right now, we are in a holy war, a spiritual war, and I talked a lot about that yesterday with my Jesus and Hollywood video, and just the irony of my experiences in Hollywood with Jesus. So definitely check that out because it kind of connected a lot of dots with news stories and things like that. So I would definitely check out that video. But today I am feeling this intense uprise from these secret societies. Now, in the past, it has been very taboo to talk about these groups, okay? But since we are now ascending these lower energies and we have tapped into that underbelly, which I also just did a full video on that we're going into the underbelly right now. So definitely be sure to check that out as well. But we are now having to ascend these groups. And a lot of that taboo talk of you cannot mention their name or they will hear you, that is true. Okay, that is very true. Okay, they have advanced technologies. They do or have owned the world, but we are now ascending those energies. Okay, we are essentially going in and just kind of like facing those energies head on in every form of institution, establishment, every single congressman, government official, every single CEO, CFO, banks. This is global and this is a worldwide, I don't even want to say, it's not a war. I feel it is us walking into their energies. I feel like we are walking into their faces right now. Like we are like, we see you, we hear you, we know that you are abusing, torturing us, we know what you have done to the establishment, we know what you have owned, and here we stand and we are walking toward you now. We are walking into your faces now. Here we are, and we are here, we are coming in to be seen and to shine the light right back into their faces. I joke a lot with all of these whatever technologies that I have been targeted with, that I am passing out mirrors, okay? I pass out mirrors to all of them, accountability mirrors, and I tell them it is time for their ethics training and to go into class and start to figure it out. Because the fact that they could sit and do something like this to a person and think that they are better than them is a lie. That is an illusion. All men are created equal, okay? All men, women are created equal. And what are we seeing out of the GOP? We have seen nothing but the exact opposite, which is stripping down women's rights, okay? Human rights, okay? That is what they have been running on, essentially. And now they don't want their women to work. That is the next positioning. They don't want their women to vote. This is where they would be going with their dialogue. That is the next story, okay? It is moved or has moved into an authoritarian dictatorship, okay? And that is where they reside at this point in time. And they are going to continue going on. So one of the biggest terrorist threats right now is the group Incel. And when you start researching them, a lot of the behaviors is misogynistic abuse. They believe in it's a form of sexual abuse, okay? And it is a belief system that they are better than that woman, that they want to degrade them, and they want them to submit. Now, the People of Praise, which has ties to Amy Barrett, Supreme Court Justice, okay? That is a very similar group. Now, that is a group where you take a covenant, okay? You take a covenant, a lifelong covenant, which sounds very familiar to who? Scientology. Who signs a what? A contract, okay? Is that a billion-year contract? So this stuff is coming to light, to the forefront with a vengeance. These groups might be separate, but there is a common thread of money, power, and every single one of these groups is coming into the sun. It's coming into the sun, okay? And once the sun is shining on these cults, there is no nowhere for them to hide. There is nowhere for them to hide. Now, the people of praise, the women are expected to submit to their husband. There has been, I want to say, evidence, or that people have come forward from the people of praise who have said that their parents performed sexual displays in front of them as children, okay? These groups are connected to a form of, I don't know what to say. There's a sexual undertone to these groups, okay? And it's about control, manipulation, and power. And if that Supreme Court justice is a member of the people of praise, I have a very big problem with that, because that did not come up in her hearing. And if a justice is a member of a cult, they cannot rule on the Supreme Court, because those values go in line with that cult. So if she is now the one that is voting on the abortion rights, and her cult believes that you should not have an abortion, she has a skewed opinion, and she's essentially bought. She is owned. That is a problem. That is a problem. So if anyone in the Supreme Court justice is a member of a cult, they cannot be on the Supreme Court, okay? They can't be there. They can't be there, okay? And this has been going on for hundreds of years, whatever. You know, we know that, all of these leaders, these politicians, they are bought, okay? They are backed by donors. These donors are Christian donors. Most of these are right-wing Christian donors that are connected to the GOP, okay? And on the other spectrum, I'm sure the Democrats, they have donors as well that are connected to the same thing. And I'm not going to sit here and say, even though I believe they have a completely different ethical, moral value and compass, and I will not sit here and say they are of the same, because I do not agree or believe that, especially after what I've witnessed during the Trump presidency, how hard the Democrats have tried to rise in the face of a dictatorship, authoritarian leader, okay, who turned our country into Russia and forgot to fucking tell us, okay? So that's where we still reside. He is still in denial about overthrowing his own government, okay? He still can't come clean or talk about that, and either can his GOP members. And none of that goes along with the constitutional laws or values of our country. And every single one of them that would stand by a dictator is a terrorist, okay? That is what a terrorist would do. You do not terrorize your country and sit here and say it is okay to do so. You do not stand up in front of the American people and act like that is something ethical and moral and that it is okay. We do not sweep behavior under the rugs. People lost their lives in the insurrection. There are, the special counsel report on that, I want to say it was like 800 pages, something like that. These special counsel reports are not small. The amount of work that goes into these reports, and the fact that an entire party can neglect a report, okay? A report with hard evidence in it, including the Mueller report, and never even read it, goes to show the level of the psyops and propaganda that Fox News has been pumping out, which is also a form of psychological warfare and a conspiracy to defraud the United States of America. And that's really where we have to go next, okay? So now we have to move forward, and we're going to have to face all of the cults, all of the donors, all of the members, and we're going to have to go to all of the backers now. And we have to freaking dance, okay? We're going to dance through this. Everyone, as a nation, is going to have to dance their way through these cults. And this goes into our agencies, the feds, CIA, the cops, okay? Police force, everybody. Every single institution right now is under fire. And the reason for that is because we are going to freaking have to uncover layers of corruption. Layers of corruption. Years of corruption. And it is something that I feel they never really saw coming. I really don't think they ever saw it coming. But we have to be vigilant as light workers because they are targeting us hard, okay? I can't even tell you the level of targeting. They come into my dream. They do an Inception form of dream, okay? Those movies are real. They're based on real stories. And they put me with a celebrity, okay? They put me with a celebrity, and they had the celebrity come in and hang out with me. And it was nothing romantic or anything. We were just, I don't even remember what we were doing. It might have been like cooking dinner or something like that. But then they intentionally had somebody come in and take them away and say, you can sleep on the couch tonight or something like ridiculous. Like it was like the weirdest. Like these animation systems that they come up with are they're, one, they make no sense. Two, they're insane. And three, when you wake up from your dream, in your headset or whatever this crap is, this V2K system, you can hear them all talking to you. Like, it's like the weird, they're still, like the dream goes into your ears and they're like, we didn't mean to do that to you. We didn't have a choice. We had to do that to you. And you're like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, this is next level insane. But the targeting goes into the technologies and AI now for people depending on how much you are standing up to them, depending on how targeted you are, okay? And they believe that they can own you at that point. They come after you, okay? And I am highly targeted. I am highly gang stalked, and I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to continue talking about it, because if we don't start talking about it, then we can't come together and figure out who the victims are. But the problem is that a lot of these victims potentially are in contracts, okay, where they have management or teams, or they're part of the cult and they can't come forward and actually voice who they are, which what would that mean? They would have to break a contract and potentially lose money, or how they would survive. But that's what happened to me, you know? My entire life was flatline. It was crashed down. My monies, everything has been taken from me because I took a stand. But for me, I feel that this is just the beginning, okay? I feel that if we do not step out of our little square box of comfort, we will never be able to rise against this kind of enemy. And this is what has kept them in power for so long. The fear, okay? The fear of them taking from you. The fear of what they are doing to you over and over again. And everyone right now has to realize that these groups are very real, okay? They are very, very real. But I can also tell you right now that they are going into a place that is very uncomfortable for them, where they are being pushed into a spotlight energy of sorts, where the sun is essentially shining down on them. And there are many of these cults that are involved in these gang stalking type of behaviors and programs, okay? These are part of the targeted individual programs. Roseanne Barr very candidly told Bill Maher, you know, in an interview on camera TV, that he was currently part of an MK Ultra program. The balls and the audacity to sit here and tell Bill Maher that he's a victim of that is really next level. But at the same flip side of the coin, she's still giving that information. So she's, in one way, she is emboldening, okay, the victim by telling them, okay? But in the other way, how she's doing it is that she's getting away with it, and it looks like she's kind of throwing it in his face. And that is part of their abuse. That's part of their ritual abuse. And that is part of how they are groomed to treat people. And the amount of ritual abuse I deal with on the daily, it is 24 hours a day. It is nonstop. And it is to the point, I'm going through the gray hair journey right now, and it is like the worst time ever for me to be going through the gray hair journey, because every single time I look in the mirror, I have to hear them go, oh, so gross, ew, why would you do that? And the way their energy comes off is that they're like these really hot, sexy people, because that's just how their bot systems work. So it tries to make you feel ugly and have no confidence and doubt yourself. And that is the design. The design is to break them down. Break them down until they submit. Break them down destroy them, destroy their confidence, go after them. And you know, after a while, it gets exhausting. It does get exhausting because it's not just 1 day or 2 days, not 1 week, it's not 2 weeks. It is months of ritual. It's months of abuse. It is months. It is years, okay? And over time, it is very challenging that I have to sit there and while I'm doing my hair, they're like, I guess it doesn't look that bad if you do that. You know, like that's what they're saying to me. Like it's literally like, I have like Kim Kardashian. It sounds like her in my ear. Like it's literally like, why don't you just dye your hair? You know, it's like that kind of an energy. And you're just like, who are you, dude? Like, who are you? They come down on me so hard. They watch me go to the bathroom. They know when I have my period. I mean, they created a prison camp for me because of my channel, okay? That's where I'm at personally. And I'm not gonna sit here and hide it, okay? Because the goal is to make their victims look and appear crazy. Yet how many of their victims have we watched on the news? How many celebrities have we seen crash their cars, had drug overdose? How many of their victims have we watched as a world, okay? And now we are coming to the light and we are realizing that they're all victims, okay? Many of them are victims of these cults and secret societies. And now we have to be strong in the light and not sell our souls, okay? We got to move forward in the light, clearing them out of our biology because they now have the technologies, the advancements of our codes, and they can break in to your codes at any time they want and do whatever they want to you, essentially. They can make you fall in love with them. They can break your heart in the next day. They can, I'm not gonna go into their stuff that they can do to you on this video. I've talked about it on my Monarch Mind Control video. I have a playlist on MK Ultra with all of their torture stuff that they have done. But right now, we as light workers must dance in front of them. We must dance into their energies and into their lands. And we must shine the light back to them because we aren't going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. And it comes a point where we have to come head to head. And that's where we're at right now. We are going into the underbelly and these cults are coming to the light. And we as light workers are getting stronger and stronger and stronger, even though it is not our design to have these types of confrontations with people. We are now ready, okay? We are ready to face these fears head on and move into our soul missions and our purpose here on earth. So I will leave you guys there. I'm wishing you the best, sending you guys so much love and blessings. If you guys are interested in a soul coaching reading or a healing, you can go to my website at soul